Conspiracy Radio, where we discuss the unidentified, the unexplainable, paranormal, conspiracies, and much more. Starring your hosts and co-hosts, Jenny Nicasio, Sean Kelly, Trish Lowe, and Jason Sledgehammer Ryan Petro. Brought to you by UPRN Network. Now for your host, Jenny Nicasio.
Good evening and welcome to Chasing Prophecy on 105.3 New Orleans, where we discuss anything and everything beyond the scope of normal. I'm Jenny Nicasio along with my co-host, Sean Kelly. And
Hello.
of course, Trish is not on board yet, and Jason is on the road. You know what it's like to be a musician. Hey, Sean, how's it going?
I'm doing okay. A little rough week. You know, I'm still recuperating from work. I am. The month of December was crazy, especially the last week cutting all that pork. I think I cut over 400 pounds of pork. And
Wow,
I mean,
that's a lot of pork.
Yeah.
A lot of bacon, but
A ton of bacon.
Well, that's good. You had a good recovery so far. I mean, you've recovered yet?
I'm about halfway there. It takes me a month to recuperate from December. It really does.
Well, it takes me probably a week to recover from putting all the decorations away.
Oh, man. Did you do it?
I did it. And I finished this weekend on Sunday. I did a marathon. So I finished. And then I just laid around and watched movies with my mom. We've watched a lot of cool different shows that haven't been on before.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like Netflix has all old movies on there anymore. I don't know if you noticed that.
I have.
Have you noticed that?
Yes, I have. I'm not really. We got that Discovery Plus, you know, the Fire Stick.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I like Discovery Plus because they have everything on there, and I enjoy watching. I like watching like the murder mysteries, you know, where the cops go out and. How you doing, Gary?
You
Good
like
to see you.
those? What are they called? Mysteries.
Yeah, like where the police go and investigate a murder, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, I watched Dumpling
Never
about
heard of
a beauty queen who had a little chubby daughter, and she wanted to be in the pageant. So that was really good. And it looks like Trisha's here.
Yeah,
Hi,
there she
Trish.
is.
Was worried about you not being on.
Dang time, I tell you. It's like the spirits will not allow me to go on until 8:17 on the dot.
That's crazy.
I believe that.
You got a little gremlins in your computer.
Like my computer will work fine all day, and the second I log on to the studio page, it just shuts down.
I gotta get some salt out and some sage.
Yeah.
Start doing some, cleansing going.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about how we're recovering from the holidays still. It's hard. I mean, it seems like we're always so rushed and you don't know what to do and you're just thinking, and then when Christmas comes and New Year's comes, we're exhausted and what we do is sit on the couch and then it takes us a while to, it seems like the older we get,
Yeah. No,
harder it is.
You're right.
But Trish is a lot younger than we are.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, but it's still, this year I didn't even start preparing. I didn't even go Christmas shopping until 2 days before Christmas, for that matter, this year.
I used to do that a lot. Till Amazon.
Till Amazon messed us all up. I've been just watching documentaries and listening to talk radio. And again, I want to say watch band.video. Okay. You want to learn about the big reset, and we don't want the reset. So we got to watch that. And there's a lot of good videos like Alex Jones, InfoWars. Make sure you go to band.video. It's going to, what?
I have a question, or let me run this by you. Was it last week we were talking about all, that, what do they call it? Gas lights from an airplane?
Chemtrails. Yeah.
Chemtrails. Okay. I've been doing some research and doing some talking to some conspiracy theorists. Okay. And I'm still on the fence of it. I'm leaning toward it might be happening, but everybody has caught this COVID. Okay. A ton of people caught COVID. And I'm wondering if the government, this is what the conspiracy theorists are saying. The hell's that?
There's a my ghost just turned on the radio. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. I'm
What
sorry.
song was it?
It was a country song.
Now,
That's relevant.
is it possible that the government like launched some kind of chemical to give all these people COVID again?
Oh yeah,
Because-
you were listening to the same one I was listening to. Yeah, there's a lot of speculation that these aircrafts are actually throwing the COVID into the atmosphere to make it
Yeah.
airborne. Yeah, you never know.
Well, so this, I mean, and this is with the government since the 60s, 70s. They had all of the different projects, like the one where they dropped fleas over the South to
I didn't know that.
see how fast, and mosquitoes. There was one with mosquitoes and fleas to see how fast they spread some sort of like cold virus or something. They also did it in San Francisco.
Oh, I believe it, because you think about it this way, Trish.
Well,
How
they
COVID?
had a report. It was an experiment they did back in I want to say the 70s. Maybe.
Yeah, I believe it.
And then in Kansas, of course, they've been, like I said, we've had chemtrails here for years because they spray the crops.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so.
And it's not a conspiracy theory, because it's true. It happens.
No, it's true. I mean, they admit
we've seen it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've
Okay,
seen
see,
it.
I-
No, Sean, you're absolutely 100% right, because I've seen a lot of YouTube videos, TikTok videos of people videotaping it and even saying that they see stuff coming out of it. And the way think about it. Do you really think that Omicron actually spread that fast so quick in a couple of
no,
I mean, come on.
But there was, and the only reason I took any notice or paid any attention to this was because I had a dream about this years ago, right before COVID. And, intuitively, I'm like, I wouldn't know about that any other way. And
how would you? If you
thought
didn't?
about that. But there was a comet or like an asteroid or something that had flown over China prior to right before COVID.
Mhm.
That was, and I'm pretty sure they named it Corona or something, before all of this came about. And so that it's always been speculated that anything from space can carry bacteria that is foreign to our planet. So
exactly. It's funny that you say that, because there's all these sci-fi movies that's how the extraterrestrials are going to get rid of us, by sending something out through the atmosphere like a virus to kill us.
Yeah. And that's the thing, even when our people go into space, you never know. I've always wondered, what are they bringing back? Even, it's not like the spaceship's decontaminated as it enters the, ozone or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
I was just reading Gary's, I don't know who this governor he's talking about. Oh, you don't like us talking, this is one thing I don't like about people. They don't want us to talk anything about what's going on in the world. Although most of the stuff that we talk about that's going on in the world is paranormal. Right. Okay. It's beyond the scope of normal, folks.
Definitely.
Definitely. There's so much stuff going on that we can't explain. Especially when we go back into what's going on over the mountains and going into the national parks. It's leading up to what we're going to be talking about tonight, about the there's creatures that lurk in our midst. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of creepy things, and we were talking about it for a little bit last week about the Jersey Devil.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if any of you guys know the story about the Leeds Devil, which is another name for the Jersey Devil. Sean, do you know anything about the Jersey Devil? I know you do. And it's like there's areas in Philadelphia, and there's a place called Pine Barrens in South Jersey, and the creature is often described as a piped with like a creature with hooves, but there's so many variations of it. There's one even that says it's like a kangaroo creature with a horse body and a goat-like head, leathery skin, small arms.
I'm trying to picture
what
a T-Rex or something.
It's like a T-Rex.
I'm trying to picture this.
Well,
it's creepy looking. and then it has like it's been reported to move really quickly, really fast. And, I was thinking, remember that old cartoon, The Tasmanian Devil? I wonder if
Yeah.
that's is that what this is about? I mean, the Tasmanian Devil, could it be like the Jersey Devil? Has anybody ever done any research on that
Oh,
cartoon
yeah.
character?
I haven't.
He goes
no.
really fast and he has a high pitched, blood curling scream. And there's stories known as what's that? How do you pronounce that? Ragua? Rugaroo?
Yeah.
I think
And-
there's something similar in the Chicago area in the Midwest. I know that's always been compared to the Jersey Devil. I'm not sure of the name though.
And before we get really dive deep into all this discussion, I want to let our viewers or listeners know that if you want to be on, if you have a question or a comment, I am going to share our link. If you know anything about any of these creatures, I would love to have you come on board and tell us what you know. And if you have any questions or comments for Sean or Trish or myself, come on. So I'm going to post that and just let you know that you can comment. We're on Twitch TV. We're on YouTube, and we're on Facebook, Pittsburgh Paranormal, and the UFO Paranormal Network. So I'm just going to go ahead and share this link. If anybody has, what am I doing here? I got the wrong one. Jeez Louise, mercy me. So let me go ahead and put that in here. So if anybody has any comments or questions or have a story to tell about your creature, if you've seen any of these creatures among the the woods, camping or on vacation, please let us know so we can put you on. Yep. Okay, so getting back to the story of all those creepers, jeepers creepers. Okay, I'll shut up. Okay. Now there's a story about this. They're like, it goes back to a woman who actually saw this creature. Her name was Leeds. Did you hear anything like that?
Yeah,
Sean?
I was doing some research on it before the show, and actually, the woman, had so many babies, and she just got tired of having kids, and she had 12 of them.
Yeah, on the 13th one, she cursed her baby.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Do you remember what her name was?
Was it
I think
Leeds?
I have it here somewhere in my notes.
Was it Leeds?
Yeah, her first name was Leeds. I want to know what her last name was Leeds. I was trying to find out what. And let me get to that. I'm going to find her name. Yeah, she cursed her 13th baby because she was mad that she was pregnant again. I mean, what do you think it's going to do when what do you think is going to happen? Yeah, her name was Jane Leeds, who was married to Daniel Leeds, but there doesn't seem to be any connection between them. I mean, apparently there's a lot of speculation or stories that the Mr. Leeds who impregnated her was the devil.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't read that part. Maybe
there was all these newspaper stories, and then as the years went on, they were like down through the centuries. The stories changed over and over and over, but it goes back to that her name was Deborah Lee. Her name was Deborah, and she was married to Japheth Leeds, and they both lived in Leeds Point. Like you said, they had 12 children, which does line out with the original legend that they said that there was a woman who had all these kids. And what happened was she was tired of being a baby factory.
Yeah.
And so she kind of cursed herself, apparently. That was the story. But then they think that the baby, what could have been the offspring of one of her lovers, a British soldier, during the revolution in 1778. There was a battle that he was in that took place on Chestnut Neck in southern New Jersey. So she cursed her baby, and as a result she gave birth to this. At first the baby was normal looking, but then it started to get like creepy looking, like weird. Yeah, like spooky.
And I do believe they they proclaimed her as a witch, and that she was a witch, and they weren't curse. I'm not knocking witches' curse.
I was going to say,
so you're hearing a different. You're hearing a different story than I did, where it said that it was. So you're saying the other story about it was a witch cursed her.
Yeah, she was they claimed that she was a witch and had copulated with the devil himself.
Well, yeah, that's the story too, that there was there's so many different versions of the same story with the leads. One, like I said, that she had sex with the devil and her offspring was going to be devilish. I mean, if Joseph swore that he saw a devilish creature flying through her room at one point. So it could be in like decades later, it kept on changing. So we don't know. And there was a lot of claims that this baby that was born, that it was like hideous looking. There's so many different characteristics of that creature, Trish, that had like you said, the creepy looking arms, and he had hooves and he had horns.
See, that sounds like the there's at Stoll, Kansas here, there's a very similar story. And because Stoll, it was reported to be one of the 7 gates of hell. And supposedly the devil had an affair with a witch, and their offspring was kind of a demon, werewolf, something creature. So,
well, yeah, if you have sex with the devil, you watched Rosemary's Baby, didn't you? I'm trying to pull up your picture that you sent me, Sean. I just can't pull it up.
Yeah, that was from Russell. That was from Russell. Yeah, that was from Russell. Russell Round. Yeah.
They found something like that. That to me looks like it's just I don't know.
It's like it's one of those
let me see if
large.
I can share
it says it's a large. What did it say? A hammerhead bat.
Yeah,
like
hammerhead bat.
It looks like it had. It's sort of like the island of Dr. Moreau, where he did genetics, like
that was a
genetic
creepy, that was
experiments
a
where he, definitely, where he would share, like he would, splice. I wonder how I can pull this up without sharing the whole.
Yeah, he said this is a hammerhead bat thought to believe what people are seeing as a Jersey Devil.
I'm gonna see if I can make that bigger. Can everybody see that? It's hard to. That's what he looks like. Yeah, to me, that looks like it could be some kind of genetic mutation of some sort. It looks sort of like it could be like.
Looks like
it does look like it would be a
head.
Yeah, it could look like it. Maybe that's what they're saying. That does look like something like the Jersey Devil. Yeah,
possibility. And just think, up there in New Jersey, all the ships that came. I mean, back then, a long time ago. Didn't the Quakers come over, or the Puritans come over from England? And because that was part of England, the Pine Barrens, leads. So,
well, they said there was a lot of killings of livestock too in the area, that they saw this. The similar sightings were reported. And then they also heard screams and saw tracks in the snow, like hooves. And then they'd see like animals that were mutilated, sort of like the ET mutilations. But this was like a lot of the livestock that was mutilated, and the screaming was, I believe they have it reported back in 1925. And it continued with a farmer that he claimed he saw an animal that they couldn't identify. And it sounds like it's something like what Russell put on the scream, is trying to, and what they said is they saw one of them trying to steal his chickens, that he was that close to it. And he fired his rifle. He hit the target, killing the animal. He took photos of it. And its corpse showed over 100 to 100 people, but none of them could identify what they saw. And it looks probably sort of like that picture. And the creature, they couldn't figure out what it was, but so many farmers believed that it was this creature of the Jersey Devil. And I believe there was a guy named Stephen DeSoto, and he's one of the farmers who inspected it. And like you said about the ships that came in. Oh yeah, so who knows? They said it was a flying creature, and this creature that we're seeing on the screen also has wings, like you said, a bat. It's kind of creepy though. I don't know what you
Looks
think
like,
about
I'm
that.
sorry, but it looks like a dog.
Well, don't you think, Trish, it could be some kind of mutation of a cross, like some kind of, sort of like inbreeding
Yeah,
of
it
some
looks
kind
like
of
a
creature?
giant bat something.
It
um,
does. Just it
Yeah.
does look like it. But they also said they heard chain like rattling, and I don't know if somebody's just going a
Uh,
little bit too far when they say these things,
I think
but
so.
sorry, go on, Sean.
Oh, no, go ahead. That's good.
No, well, I was going to say a lot of times, so, any type of cryptid has always been associated with UFOs and aliens and ETs. So if you think about it in that perspective, then if there's a spaceship and that just happens to say that was the creature that was on the ship, that's just how they look. That's how that race of extraterrestrial looks.
Yeah.
And there's a ship that's covered by some holographic illusion or something that you can't see, then yeah, maybe there would be other sounds, motors or buzzing or chain, whatever,
Possibility on that one, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But they always refer to it as an animal or demon or monster, like a weird mix of DNA. So that takes us right to what we were talking about. Also, the skinwalkers.
Mm-hmm.
So those are probably the
Those
same.
those are freaky, yeah.
Yeah, the
Those are
skinwalkers. So
Skinwalkers is a very broad. I mean,
They're all over the place.
Though, because depending on which culture or part of the earth, you're referring to them. Almost every culture, they're similar in every culture, but they're vastly different as well. So,
well, isn't the skinwalker like a gigantic humanoid creature of like it smells? It's just
It's,
it looks it's all with that. They always have them with these big like felt. What is that called, Sean? It's like a material that's over them,
suede.
I was looking at my
like
book.
skin, like yeah, I guess it would be skin, like animal hide,
Mm-hmm.
and then you never get to see their face.
Well, but they're transformed from wolf, coyote, bear, fox, or other animals. Anything that inhabits the skin of another creature. So, and it originated with like Norse mythology and native cultures, because they had these fighters that would wear wolf skins, and so a lot of times in many, especially with like when you're referring to like shamanic studies and things like that, the person, even remote viewing to an extent, they inhabit that animal's strengths. Or like if they killed a bear or the wolf or whatever and then wore its skin, it's said to they become one,
Right.
So that's kind of where it originated.
Yeah,
well, a lot of people think that they're werewolves.
Yeah. But that's where the Wendigo comes in, though.
Well, they seem like they're all. What do you know about the Wendigo, Sean?
Oh, okay. I took notes on this one. Okay. The Wendigo is found mainly in the East Coast forest of Canada, the Great Plains region, and the Great Lakes region. And the tribe, the Native American tribe, am I pronouncing this right? Algonquins. The story they give it to it is that it's a malevolent spirit, and it possesses humans, and it feeds on humans, and a lot of greed, a lot of hunger, cannibalism, and what is it? And it likes to have other people commit murders. If I'm not mistaken, how it travels is it goes from one body into another person, something like that.
That's like Venom.
Yeah, that's sort of like a walk-in. Like,
but and then they also say that they where they come up with werewolves because they were over in Europe. But there's also what, this is what I hate about scientific stuff. All right. There's a thing out there that's actually called a Wendigo psychosis. And that is a person like us or whatever at eating human flesh. There is something out there that you're muted, Jen. She's muted.
I don't think she.
She's muted.
Muted again. Yeah, I'm saying it's sort of like a zombie, like a Walking Dead.
Yeah, but that's creepy, man. It's just like me if I'm a Wendigo jumping into Trisha's body and making her do all kinds of crazy stuff. And then she gets done doing it. She jumps into your body. And it
Wasn't there the sleep doctor? Was it sleep doctor? Dr. Sleep?
I never heard of that.
Was
Never
it
heard of
Dr. Sleep?
Never
I think
heard
it
of
is. It's part of what they are. Dr. Sleep.
I
It was
don't
a
know.
movie.
Brycer says, so what
Yeah.
do you guys know for sure?
We don't know anything for sure, Bryce. We're just speculating and we're just giving our opinions. We're not professionals in the cryptics. Sean is a Pittsburgh paranormal founder that he goes on ghost hunts. He investigates paranormal. I used to be a MUFON field investigator, which I investigated UFOs and strange phenomena. So we're not especially we're not researchers in the cryptics. We're just doing it for our show tonight. And like if you know of anything and you'd like to come on the show, we'd be more than happy to have you on.
Mm-hmm.
So
Damn straight, man. Damn
yeah. So I don't know. I think that to me, I still think skinwalkers are some kind of Indian.
Yeah, I was gonna sew my my handy dictionary here.
That's cool.
Says the the natives that also and the shamans, it was said that human witches or shamans
Shamans.
These being gained their evil powers by breaking a cultural taboo. Naked except for a coyote or wolf pelt, they would break into homes and attack the people inside, use magic arts to imitate human voices, luring people out of safety of their homes. They're also said to be able to read people's thoughts and would use people's hair, nail clippings, or old clothes to attack them with curses. A related Cajun legend tells of the Rougarou. Is that
Rougarou? That's Rougarou, yeah.
A skinwalker who possessed the human body and with the head of a wolf or a dog and prowled the swamps around Louisiana.
Yep.
But that word is French for werewolf. But see, I always think of, being obviously a witch, I think of werewolves completely different because they through legend, again, I haven't met a werewolf in person, but they transform completely into that animal. It's a little bit different than kind of their spirit using another animal or person's body. I think that's the difference.
But you know what? There are some people that honest to God believe they're werewolves, and I think,
absolutely.
And there's, I don't know what it is, but there's some people out there, I don't know if it's a disease or it's hereditary, but they have hair all over their body.
That's just a hairy bug.
No, I mean, seriously, they look like a werewolf, I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying.
The Rougarou.
The Rougarou.
Is often told to frighten children into behaving because the beast is also said to hunt down Catholics who break the rules of life.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah.
That's funny. Huh?
There'd be a lot of Rougarous up here in Pittsburgh now, wouldn't there be?
Most definitely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not so sure about the Catholic thing, but I don't know. It all depends on what you see at night, what you drank, maybe what you took. Was it something kind of like hallucinous?
What your parents taught you?
Yeah. I mean, if you see one of these, I believe in Bigfoot. I do believe there is a creature that goes through different dimensions and there's portals. I don't know if this is going to be a what do you call it, a Jersey Devil, but I do think maybe they're all related. They're just, think about it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there, especially in the woods. I mean, you hear of these, I'm not cutting down West Virginia or anything, but there's these, what do you call those towns that are in the, come on, Sean,
The
help me out here. Yeah, like Appalachians, or that there's a lot of there's a lot of woods, there's a lot of land, there's a lot of, you don't know what's up there. I mean, I know there was a TikTok video that I was watching that there was a documentary of a reporter that went into the Appalachians, and he interviewed this family, and they're all inbreds. And they're not very pretty. I mean, there's mental problems, there's genetic defects, there's facial deformities, intellectual deformities. So why couldn't one of these creatures be that instead of Bigfoot or something that's extraterrestrial? Why couldn't it be that?
It could be, but John Killian wrote something. If you want to check it out.
Definitely, they're Indian in origin.
The Navajo
Indian.
Yeah, but
well, skinwalkers are also they call them walkers and other things also in Africa and I believe the Middle East as well. I'm not sure what the name is there, but it's all kind of the same, with the in Africa with in voodoo beliefs.
Oh yeah,
witch doctors and stuff. So
yeah, I believe in witch. I mean, definitely in New Orleans, there's a lot of voodoo and these witch doctors. I do believe in that. I totally believe in it. And maybe they did something to these. Maybe the Indians it's sort of like the same thing. They're doing some kind of witchcraft or voodoo or oodoo or some kind of thing like that. Cursed, there's a lot of American Horror Stories. I did one sort of like, these creatures. And I still going back to the more I research it, the more I keep going back to that video with the inbreds. I mean, there's a giant, like, I know this is a fictional story, Big Fish, but I just watched it and it's like a fairy tale, but there was a giant. He was like in the story, he was like 12 feet. There's these tall human beings that can't survive in mainstream society, that they go off into these Appalachians or the woods in Colorado, Montana, really far into the woods.
That's basically me.
What's that?
That's basically me.
You know what I'm saying? That they can't live in society. No, because they're physical. They couldn't survive. They would be tortured. So the more I think about it, the more they can't talk English. There was that movie we watched on 411 Missing with 411 Hunted.
Yes.
And the group of investigators and campers, and they went out into the Sedona area. And yes, and they listened to at night. They could hear them talking and of a language that they didn't know what it was. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, no one can understand it. But if you were a person that was born with a birth defects, you could like severely mentally retarded and couldn't speak, you would probably sound like that. And you know how they had the old circuses when you were, in boardwalk,
Mhm.
New Jersey boardwalk, or what's the
Barnum
other
the
one?
Daily Circus, that was.
Yeah, the circuses with the hairy people. I mean, those are all birth defects. And if you go out, if you think about it, some of these Appalachian towns, they do, their brothers and sisters they have sex, they get married. They don't think anything of it, and their babies are deformed. I'm thinking maybe that these, like that story with the leads is true. The New Jersey devil
Devil.
and skinwalkers. It all goes back to maybe not so much skinwalkers. We never really get to see what they really look like. But some of these people have seen the legend of the Jersey Devil. And I'm thinking it's some kind of a DNA mishap. And think
Possibility.
it could be that's what Bigfoot is instead of some extraterrestrial.
Well,
These things are big and hairy.
and
That's
there's even, with science advancements, to this day, we're still discovering new species of animals.
yeah.
And, we haven't even began to explore half the ocean. I mean, who knows what's at the bottom of the ocean that we have in all kinds of different creatures that we would probably see for the first time, even though they've been there forever, longer than we have, and would say, oh, that's a cryptid. That's this, that's that. And maybe because I've seen so many different animals that, could be classified. We're probably classified as cryptids because it's where I grew up like that. I grew up in the middle of the mountains with not hundreds upon hundreds of acres of forest and not a lot of people. So I'm sure there were things up there. And especially when I was younger, that I didn't know it was normal to me, but maybe they had never been identified, through science and such, because there were.
Yeah, and they're doing, I don't know if you saw the movie it was on Netflix. It was a series called Hybrids or something like that.
No, I didn't see
That the government was doing these scientific experiments where they would actually clone and have different species. And now there's all these little hybrids running around. And, I know that sounds far-fetched, but
it isn't.
it's not that reality. These stories that we watch on TV, they're not that far-fetched, because if you can imagine it, I'm sure they've already done it. And who knows, maybe there is some kind of lab like Fauci is doing where they clone these different species genetic coding to these different creatures, and they have half birds and half dogs, and then they have humans with dogs and humans with monkeys. So maybe that is Bigfoot and these
Well,
cryptics and these
true.
dingoes or whatever you call them, and knockers and
And
werewolves
those things have been depicted since the beginning of, since even Egyptian times and the hieroglyphics. They have animals, it looks like human bodies with animal heads. That's been around, and through Greek and Roman cultures, all of them.
Well, I'll tell you what, my son, I'm not going to tell you the college he went to. He been to 4 of them, but and he was studying that, and he actually built a fish from nothing, like a little.
What did he
DNA
build?
A fish, a real fish.
And was it like he cloned it?
Yeah,
See, he did a fish. They're probably doing other stuff.
I guarantee it. But I won't tell you what university he went to on that one. But no, he cloned it.
No, I believe it. If that's what he does genetic research.
Not no more. No, he's doing something different.
That would be really fascinating to do. But I don't think it's
more to help animals. That's all.
Is that what he do? He's helping animals now?
What they're feed. What he does basically is he works and he does experiments for a company that looks into what animal feed, like for cows and chickens and pigs.
Oh, yeah.
I mean? Yeah, he does experiments for that. And it's a pretty decent job. I think it's fascinating.
Oh, really. Yeah. It's very fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to get some UFO, not UFO, Bigfoot researchers on. There was a couple books that I was looking at, the Bigfoot, I guess it's called the Bigfoot of the Appalachians. So I'm trying to get these guys on the show And there's also, I'm still working with the Brownsville demon. I'm still working with him. I know, but I think that would be a good one for you, so you can be.
I'll be.
I've been work. It's kind of. I think you like everybody's still a little, off
Oh,
yet. They're not.
I'll wait for that one. Oh my gosh, I'll be the devil's advocate. Trishy,
Yeah,
you will have to hold your ears when I get
yeah.
back to that
We're
one.
still we're still. I think like people are still not,
But
into
not convinced with
January.
it. I mean, I investigated the house really close by, and I walked that property. Okay, my God, it was like nothing, nothing.
No, did you go into the house?
No, I didn't.
See, you
No,
didn't go into the house,
I
so
don't have to go into the
well,
house.
maybe the house is haunted and you or possessed.
No, it is not possessed. Trust me, it's not possessed.
Well, you're
No.
gonna have to come here. It's not my house isn't possessed, but I
Yeah,
had
when are
a.
we going to come out, man?
Well, I'm
Right?
actually thinking about it after what happened the other night.
Yeah, tell everybody what happened.
I was watching Big Fish, and all of a sudden, I have a big flowered centerpiece on my table, and the flowers were going like this, and I mean, like somebody's pushing them. And the weird thing was, on the show, it was talking about dying and passing on, and talking to dead people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my God, look. And I was too slow. I mean, it's so hard to take video when something is
Right.
actually happening. It's like, oh my God, I'm so slow because I was
Hmm.
too busy looking at it. But that's not all that happened. I had spilled my drink, and before I went to bed, I decided to clean it. And I had my son's pictures where the water had spilled. So I'm cleaning it up, and I moved the pitcher. And I said, okay, I'm going to move this pitcher right here. And you better not move it, ghost. Should never said that. I get up the next morning. The pitcher is not was facing forward, and then all of a sudden it was facing out like this. I said, "Oh my God, that is so creepy." And then I have a
Yeah.
dog. I have a Sandy Cast dog, a puppy, German Shepherd puppy. And one morning it was it was looking at the wall instead of looking out. It was facing the wall, like looking
Hmm.
at the wall. Like, okay, who moved that? But lately it's been going crazy. Noises right and left, things being moved. It's freaking me out.
Call
So
us
I don't
out.
know
We're ready to come
if
out.
this is a friendly ghost, I hope.
Why don't you ask it what it wants? I guess, what does it feel scary? I mean, does it
Well, I
feel
was scared when I
like
seen when
wants
that
to
happened.
harm?
I was scared. My mom goes, say the sign of the cross.
But
It's
I
like,
mean, maybe it just likes flowers, or I mean, maybe it's a playful one. Like this time of year, I have so many little like, and it's probably because there aren't as many plants and stuff outside, and there's always winter time is always a time that fairies and stuff tend to come
oh, if it was
indoors,
a fairy,
and
I wouldn't be mad. I mean,
they can be little tricksters. They'll move stuff and like hide my keys,
well,
and
whatever this was, it was being funny,
my
Trish.
Thor will he'll just chase them all over the place. You'll just see him, looks like he's chasing nothing, I guess, to a normal person, but
That's cool. No, 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 no. That'd be
Well,
pretty cool.
I mean, I was thinking you guys coming out in the spring once the weather is not so bad. I'll
That'd
have
be
to lock
nice.
up my dog, to
Yeah,
lock my
yeah,
dog up
yeah. She'd
because
bite my.
she'll
She'd bite
eat.
my leg. She'd
Yeah,
bite my
no,
leg.
she won't bite you. She's
Bark and
scared.
bite. Bark and bite.
Her bark is worse than her bite. She's never bitten anybody.
Oh, okay, that's
So
good.
that's good. She's never. Well, my first German Shepherd went through the window, went through our front door screen, went right through it at the UPS man. Yeah,
Wow.
she didn't mess around. But we have some really interesting guests tonight. Trish, you want to introduce them? Oh, did you send them the link? No,
I have not yet.
you have
Oh.
it.
No, I can send it to you.
I can put it in. I think he's already. No, that's somebody else. That's your other. Who was on last week's show. I see. Yeah, we have an interesting guest coming on the show. It's a paranormal group. If I can find the name, because I'm not really good at this. Because
Didn't they the Vax Paranormal?
what's that?
Are they
Apex.
called Apex?
Apex. So I've heard them. They're in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Have they ever been on the show?
I don't think so. No.
That sounds so familiar. Yeah. So
I
they're
think they do a lot of podcasts.
Maybe. I don't think there's another podcast with that name though. There are paranormal investigators out of Kansas City where Trish lives, and they're looking to find answers to the unknown and provide help to those in need. Is there something special that they were working on, Trish?
They have a lot of really interesting. Well, first of all, they and I'll let them tell how they met and everything. They have a lot of very interesting investigations coming up in this area. There's so many, especially Kansas City. There's so many mansions and houses and stuff. But in the future, in 2000, well, as of 2022, they began working with Amazon Prime, presenting Apex Chronicles episodes of the team investigating some of the world's most haunted locations. So that's exciting.
Yeah, it really is.
Hi, Kathy. Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's cool. They're working with Amazon. They're lucky. It's hard to get into Amazon.
Yeah, and a lot of their upcoming events as well are, I know they're going to be working with, I believe
I'm sorry. That's a good joke, Kathy.
Yeah, that is.
That's a good joke. What did the ghost buy at the bar? Booze. So
they have the Apex Chronicles, which apparently is also on, they have it linked under their Facebook page as well, is on YouTube, as well as they also investigated the Sally House. So I'm kind of excited to hear what they have to say about that, and so many others.
someone send them the link yet?
Yes.
Okay.
How many investigators going to be on the show?
Just 2. But I believe they have 6 total on their team.
Cool.
I know the McIntyre Villa is going to be one coming up at the end of January. The temple in Salina, Kansas. That is a haunted. I think that was an old Masonic temple, I want to say.
That's exciting.
And then they also are working with, there's another team, the Ghost Hunters, I think is their...
Ghost Hunters.
TV, yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to be working with them as well on some of their upcoming investigations. So.
Okay. This is one of them. I think Shannon Johnson is there.
Okay.
Did you want to bring her? You want to bring her on, or do we want to wait for all of them to come on at the same time? 2 of them. It's up to you, Trish. This is your gig.
No, she can come in now. I can't see her, so.
Okay. Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Shannon.
Welcome to Chasing Prophecy.
Thank you.
So Trish was telling us a little bit about you, and we have how you say that, Elijah.
Elijah. Mm-hmm.
Hi, welcome
Elijah.
to Chasing
What's up,
Prophecy.
Hi, guys.
What's up?
So, Trish, go ahead and you can introduce him again for us.
Yes. So this is Apex from the Kansas City area. I am so excited to have you all on. I know it was kind of last minute. I've heard so much about you in the Midwest. Kind of followed some of your investigations. I didn't know until today, actually, about your most recent ones or the Sally House. So that's kind of exciting. I just went there before Christmas, actually. So, but I have heard so much. they're very well known in the Topeka and Kansas City. I'm sure all across the Midwest for that matter. So if you could just tell us a little bit more about how Apex came to be. How did you start?
Yeah. So first off, thanks for having us on, guys. I really appreciate it.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Apex actually got started. It was just three buddies. We were working together and all, found out we had an interest in all things paranormal. So we just kind of explored that. We went to an old abandoned winery that's here in town and, had let the wives sit outside and drink wine while we ran around the falling down buildings. Worked out for everybody, but we had great experiences every time we went there. And we said, all right, let's do a real ghost hunt. And so we went to one of the Missouri State penitentiaries, kind of overnight public ghost hunts. And from the minute we walked in, that first building, we had nonstop activity. We were hooked. And we said, this is it. Let's make this a thing. Let's be a group. Let's go have these adventures and fun times together as buddies. And over the years, just opportunities have kind of presented themselves and things have blown up. So we're up to, I think, 6 core members right now.
Wow.
We run several locations that we manage, paranormal bookings and events. We do ghost hunting events all over the place. And we actually have our own show. Excuse me, choking up. I'm so excited. We actually have our own show coming out on Amazon Prime called Apex Chronicles.
Great.
Sweet.
Just finishing up editing the last episode, and then hopefully it'll be on there here in a few weeks. So
Awesome. I'm going to check that out.
yeah.
How did that happen?
I'm so excited when anything comes out of the Midwest because people forget we're even here, I think.
That's funny.
It goes from the East Coast to the West, and then there's nothing in between. I think that's the. And I can say that because I lived on the East Coast too.
So Elijah, what equipment do you use?
Shannon, you want to take that one?
Oh man, we use really just about any piece of equipment that we have seen on TV or that we have just obtained from other teams that have sold equipment like online. I think each person has their own favorite piece of equipment.
What's yours?
Mine would have to be the music box and the EDI.
I've heard of that one.
I don't know what it is about those two, but those are my go-to for pieces of equipment. I think the static dome too. We were introduced to the static dome when we were at the Conjuring House. And so that's another really cool piece that we've been using. We've had some really good luck using the static dome.
How about EVPs? Do you use EVPs?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Do you?
For EVPs, we use body cams. The body cams that we've used lately have caught some pretty interesting evidence. So we've actually purchased a few more body cams for our episodes. We use K2 meters. We also use laser grids. Another favorite piece of ours is a motion detector. Just a normal, really loud motion detector. We've had some really good luck using that at a few other places as well.
That's cool.
What's the music box?
So the music box it comes in different shapes. The one that we have, it's in the shape of a coffin and it's a motion detector. So anything that passes in front of it, it will light up, but it'll also play this like really creepy music. I absolutely love it.
It plays creepy music when
That-
someone comes
Never
in.
heard of that one.
I never did either.
Now,
It's really cool though. I've never heard of that either.
Oh yeah,
Now-
we often through our investigations.
cool. Now, do you do private residences? Do you go and help people out?
Elijah, you want to take that one?
Yeah, we really don't. We did for a long time. As a group, we've been together for, I think, about 8 plus years now. For the first several years, we definitely did try out with residential cases. What's kind of unique about us is we have mental health professionals in the group. And so we spend, 40 plus hours a week working with mental health stuff. And what we came to find doing residential cases was about 99% of the time you're dealing with mental health stuff, whether that's a full-blown mental health diagnosis to, we had cases where there wasn't a mental illness involved, but as we dug in deeper, come to find out the family had some fighting and were, I can't think of words this time. We're not talking to each other. And right at the same time that happened is when this activity started kicking up. And so what we found is a lot of activity they're experiencing was easily explainable, but they were very hyper vigilant to everything going on around them because they had all this emotional stress. So not that that's every case out there, not that that's not a worthwhile thing to do is to investigate residential cases. Just for us, we deal with that so much during work life. We really want this to be separate and be fun and more, of a hobby for us. And so we tend to focus more on historical locations and things like that.
So you're saying that most residential hauntings are like there's a lot of chaos going on in the family.
That's I feel like that's treading tricky water. In our experience, that's what we were encountering. And as a group, we just felt like, that wasn't a good fit for us. We really wanted to do the historical piece and really just wanted this to be more fun adventures for us rather than, that sounds terrible to say out loud too, rather than helping people. Shannon, help me out.
Oh, Lord, you're hurting yourself.
It gets very personal with residential cases.
Yeah.
It's hard not to get too involved there. So I get that.
We have taken on residential cases. We have actually we have taken on one that since I've been on the team for about 5 years. So whenever someone reaches out, and we have a lot of people who reach out to us and say, hey, we have this going on, we have that going on, can you help us? So what we do is we so to speak, screen them. So we ask them, as Elijah said, like, when did you start experiencing this? Are you having anything going on in your life that maybe could trigger these kinds of events? Because asking those kinds of questions can help determine if it is paranormal or if it's, psychological. And 9 times out of 10, it is psychological. It's emotional. Very few homes that do reach out to us, we end up performing an investigation. And we have once, like I said, in the last 5 years, and that was because it was a legitimate haunting.
Cool.
That's not bad. Now, see, with my group, since 2006, that's what we mainly do is private residentials. And I'm not knocking you guys, okay? I'm not, but the majority of the houses that we go to, the clients that we have, actually had some paranormal activity going on, okay? And see, to me, I think if I start asking my clients medical questions, I can get in trouble for that. You know what I mean? So I just go on, they send me an email. I read the email, and if I think they're phony, I won't answer it. You know what I mean? But if I think it's legit, then yes, then I'll go to the house. It don't hurt for me to sit down and talk to them. But a lot of the one-on-ones, because we do walkthroughs before we go do our investigations, and we actually go there like on a Wednesday, sit down, talk to them, see what's going on. And if I think it's a legitimate one to go to, then we'll pack up and bring the stuff in on Saturday and do the investigation, So, and that's only me. That's the way I work.
Yeah. And it's different approaches. I think there's, and I agree, there's definitely very legitimate cases out there. Just the experiences that we had, that's what we were running into. And we said, I don't think that's really what we want to do. We want to kind of go in this direction, and it is what it is. But thankful that there's groups out there like yours that we can also refer cases to. And we've got folks in our area that we work with. So if they come in, it's not just, we don't just say, yeah, no thanks, we don't do that.
Sorry about your bad luck.
Yeah, let's get you connected to somebody that can help with that.
That's good. That's good that you do.
Yeah,
we had a few months ago. We had a paranormal psychologist that associated, which I thought was really interesting, and she said, in her experience, I don't know how long she had been working with clients as far as hauntings and stuff, but most of them had all had shadow people in their houses or residences, and those were all a manifestation of their own, family issues or mental health things, or addictions or whatever, which was really interesting. So
yeah, she's probably called a parapsychologist.
Yes, that's the word.
Okay. And
we have some fun conversations or debates or what have you. We take a lot of long road trips together, and you're stuck in a small space with each other for hours on end. We have some great.
What's that?
I said he loves it. Don't let him fool you. With 5 other people.
Yeah. The first 10 hours are a blast.
Talk about some of the evidence that you've gotten
From the Sally house.
from any house, from any haunting that you went
Well,
on.
the Sally house, I do want to hear specifically about that one. That one's
We're never getting away from this place.
that seems to be the thing every time I talk to somebody about that seems to be the common the answer.
Yeah.
Right, so we've investigated there for about the 8 years we've been together. I mean, we've investigated there 100,000 times. And after our last time there, we as a group decided we're not going back.
It gets old.
Well, I wish that was the case.
There's
I would
so
say,
much there. There's so much.
I'll tell you guys this: hundreds of investigations that we've done. Traveled the country doing this thing. That is the one place we've ever been that we feel confident saying there's something evil in that house. And we had to set a boundary and say, we're not going back there anymore. But I'm telling you, every time a news crew comes to town and wants to check out the Sally house, we get contact. Or anytime we do an interview about anything, Sally house, it's like it follows us. And literally follows us. So about every 3 months or so, no matter where we're at in an investigation, we refer to the thing that's there as Sally, just to make it easy. Sally pops up. We know it's her. We can tell that it's her. Most often, after a while, she'll admit that it's her. And there's this weird connection between our group and that place for some reason.
Oh, that's interesting. Have you ever been to any places on the East Coast? There's a place down in Virginia. We were there last year. It's called the Octagon House.
I've heard
down
about
in Wifeville, Virginia. We were there for 2 nights. That's a pretty cool place to go to. Then you got Trans-Allegheny Asylum over here. But yeah,
we'd love to get to Trans-Allegheny sometime. Shannon, tell them we just went to the East Coast and filmed an episode there. Actually,
yeah, we went to film at USS Edison. And to make sure I say that right, because I keep calling it Edison for whatever reason. But it's USS Edison. It's in Michigan, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not East Coast. We went
What are you
to
East Coast.
Oh, Conjuring? Good Lord, sorry. It's been a long day. I'm still at work, as you can tell. Conjuring, yes. So we were there in, when was it? May, June, I believe, like early summer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be honest, like when the team and I, when we went to Conjuring, of course we went in with the ideas that were presented in movies and interviews and what we see online. So we definitely made sure we tried to go in with a clear head and not let anything influence us. And for the most part, it was pretty quiet. We had some pretty good activity that occurred the second night, more so than the first. And correct me if I'm wrong, Elijah. Especially in the basement and on the second floor in the middle bedroom. I ended up with some pretty cool experiences whenever I was sleeping. My first night there, I was in the middle bedroom, and that's supposed to be one of the most haunted rooms in the house. And of course, I'm like, I'll sleep in there alone. And I, like, no kidding, I woke up and we had fans on because it was pretty warm in there. So we had the fans on. It was super loud. And I heard somebody shushing right next to my ear. And it startled me. I woke up because I'm like, who is shushing in the bedroom? And I went back to sleep. And not too soon after that, I literally felt somebody sitting on the bed next to me. And when I woke up, there was an impression like somebody was sitting there.
Oh, wow.
That's great. That's cool.
Did you find out who it was? Did you get a name?
I didn't, because it just so happened that, another location wanted to come through while we were investigating Conjuring. So we didn't get a whole lot during that investigation, but just, to be there was absolutely amazing. I mean, the location is wonderful. The history and the home itself was super cool.
What's the history behind that home?
Well, there's a lot of mixed history because you have what is presented in the movies, and then you have a lot of third-party stories. But just to kind of summarize it, you have this family that moved into this home knowing too much about it. They went out into the country, and it was a Perrin family. Mm-hmm. They wanted to move in the country. They wanted to get out of the city limits. They ended up meeting this gentleman who was currently living in the home. After some time, they ended up purchasing the home, residing there. And as time passed that they were living there, they started noticing just weird things going on in the house. Flies just popping up randomly in the kitchen area. There were, doors moving. They were seeing shadow movement. There is this notorious story of a chalkboard where the girls were using it, acting like they were in school, and they would write on the chalkboard, and they would leave and come back, and everything would be completely erased.
Now, would you say this is a haunting or a possession, like an evil presence?
I wouldn't go as far as a possession. I would say more of a haunting.
Even beyond the story of that one family, it's the movie The Conjuring. If you've ever seen that, it's the house that movie was based on. But that house actually dates back to, wasn't it like 1600s, the late 1600s? Wow. So it's probably the oldest place we'll ever go to.
In the movie, did they use the original house, or was that just set? No, so you went to the original house.
Yes.
But you also got to remember too, not so much part of the house, but what about the land around the house? You know what I mean? The settlers.
Yes.
Before that house was born.
Yeah. Yep. There was that.
Was this the house, the Lorraine? Okay, that's the same one?
Yeah, that's the same one.
Warren?
No, don't go there.
Okay.
Don't go there.
Oh, jeez, you're so... John doesn't really care for them.
I'll tell you the coolest part to me about that trip, and like I said, we were there filming an episode, but we didn't film this part, was the end of our last night. Couple of our partners were done. They were ready to go to bed. It was exhausting. We've been filming for however long. And I was like, we traveled 5,000 miles to get here. I'm not going to bed. I want to keep going. And Shannon was on board with me. So a group of about 4 of us decided we were going to go explore the woods. And there's, this really old stone fencing all around the property that I don't know how old it is, but it looks 1600s. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we hopped the fence. I'm sorry, I have little foster puppies here having a grand old time. So we hopped the fence and went exploring out in the wood. Just us, just going out and exploring things. And we had that was my favorite. It was the highlight. Crazy experience. Things sounded heavy, jumping out of trees and landing.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, pretty cool.
We saw what looked like a little girl peeking around trees, like trying to play hide and seek with us, and nobody was there. Hearing female voices out in the woods. I mean, it was cinematic. It's kind of where Shannon and I's go-to word. It was very cinematic experience being out there.
That's what I like to do. Like, like we go to Gettysburg a lot, and there are certain places in Gettysburg that are haunted through movies and stuff like that. But what I like to do is go away from those places and investigate different places in Gettysburg. And I mean, that's a place to go to too. And there's times that we'll be investigating at night and you can actually smell the gunpowder from the rifles, and the drums.
Happened. I lived in a cottage on the old grounds of near the War of 1776 off Ontario. And there were, oh my goodness, upstate New York's the same. It has so many, so much history and so much, and the houses out there, every single one of them, it's something, so many, it doesn't matter if you're outside, inside, where it's at, everything up there has activity.
Sometimes it's the places you don't expect.
Exactly.
A lot of these haunted locations will have an area that's just known. And so everybody spends all their time in that area, but you kind of get off the beaten path, and sometimes that's where your best experiences are.
Exactly.
I moved from that place. It was very well known, because it was the battlegrounds and on the lake, to in town, just a random house that had 9 stabbings throughout history. So obviously that one wasn't, in a place that wasn't notoriously haunted, but obviously it was something with the energy in the house because it kept happening throughout history. So,
yeah.
And that place was crazy haunted. I mean, it was.
Jeez.
So, where is your upcoming investigations going to be?
We actually are going to be filming a second season for Apex Chronicles. We've already got that mapped out this year. I want to tiptoe lightly because we do have a psychic that works with us. And I suppose we can just tell her not to watch this. We got public events.
It's ironic because she's psychic. So.
Yeah, Trish, Trish, are you part of Apex now? Huh?
No. But I'm saying there's if you're psychic, obviously,
Right. Yeah.
Just gonna find out anyways.
Right.
So we're gonna kick the year off with doing some public events. So Apex is going to what's called McIntyre Villa in Atchison, Kansas, and we're leading 2 nights of ghost hunting there. February, we've got the cast of Ghost Hunters coming to a couple of our locations, ghost hunts.
That'll be cool.
Yeah. April, we've got the TWC boys coming to do some ghost hunting events in town. And then I think we're packed with filming after that. So we're going to, I suppose it's okay to say, right, Shannon? Don't say.
Oh,
okay.
You'll have to wait until the episode comes out.
When does it start on Amazon?
Our first season should be on there within the next few weeks. We're getting all of our episodes submitted to them. Hopefully by Monday we'll have them all submitted, and then just have to get them approved, have Amazon sign off on it, and they'll be on there.
Cool.
Nice.
I'll be looking for it.
And you're
Good
doing
luck.
all the producing, everything yourself.
Yep.
Editing, and you just have them do it.
Editing's crazy.
How did this happen? Did you contact Amazon or did they contact you?
Yes, it was us contacting Amazon.
That's okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, any way
That's
to get
very neat.
the word out. When I started in 2006, a lot of people had a hard time believing in spirits, you know what I mean? And ghosts and orbs and whatever you want to call it. And I just kept going and going and talking about it because you had to get the word out. And when Taps was there at the time, and they were on show, what it did was it gave people the opportunity to tell somebody that they were experiencing stuff, you know what I mean? So keep going with the word, dude. Just keep going out and go and tell people, you know what I mean? It's go for it.
I agree. I'll tell you too, though, as a group, we kind of feel like, I hope people watch this. It's cool. We're trying to show these experiences we have. You get a lot of skeptics, and we love having skeptics around because we always tell them, it's easy to be a skeptic sitting in your own home, but come out to this haunted mansion, have something happen, and see how you feel.
But you're so right. I mean,
so we definitely want people to watch this stuff, and hopefully they're entertained and they get a kick out of it and learn something. But at the root of it, we just enjoy doing this.
That's all that matters.
It's a way for us to document our event. We have all these fun adventures, and it's what we found doing this first season is I think we're having so much fun putting these together, going back and watching them as a team, and kind of remembering all the fun adventures that we had doing them. And so, hope people watch it. If they don't, we're having a blast doing it.
You know what? We will help you spread the word when it comes out. We will start advertising for you guys.
Well, thank you.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely. But
Before we let you go, is there any particular investigation that sticks out in your mind that you want to talk about, that you've received a lot of communication and evidence? Do you have anything on video? Do you have anything like audio, like EMFs, anything that you can actually hear a voice?
So I'll tell you this and then kick it over to Shannon to share specifics. We do have a YouTube page going, and it's just Apex Paranormal. If you Google Apex Paranormal, you'll find everything you could possibly want. On our YouTube page, what we did through all those years is we would compile all the evidence after investigation and just put it into a little evidence video. So, we'll have a 5-minute long video that's just kind of back to back. Here's the EVPs we caught. Here's the videos, whatever happened on that investigation. So if you want to just get right to the nitty gritty evidence, there's like 50 videos on there.
Is there one particular that you can link me and I can play a little clip of it? Or no?
Let me see what I can do. Shannon, do you want to talk about a specific place, and I'll see if I can.
Man, I don't. Now that I think about it, I don't know if we caught this on video or not. One of the places that we went to, and the reason why this sticks out is because, the sound of hearing children that are no longer living is just eerie and heart-wrenching, like all in one.
Yes.
And we went to a location. It was for our schoolhouse. And, going into a schoolhouse, you're not sure what to expect, because a lot of times you go into a haunted location and something just absolutely horrible happened there.
Yeah.
But then going to a school, it's not necessarily something horrible that happened. It could just because it is. and a group of us were sitting in I believe it was the gym, and we were playing music, and we were all sitting in a circle, and we had the music box sitting out. We had, the cat toys, the glowing cat toys sitting out. And Elijah had asked, does anybody want to come out and sit with us or come out and play with us? And clear as day, every single one of us heard it with our own ears, but we heard a kid, it was loud, and its voice echoed saying, "But I don't want to."
Cool. Cool.
The hair on my arms, my legs, like they all stood up. And that was the most amazing thing. Ever since then, I wanted to go back there.
That's scary.
That's cool as hell.
Okay.
What are you talking about? That ain't scary. That's cool as hell.
I think my favorite piece of evidence was caught at the Vale Mansion out here in Independence. So we
Oh, that's what I want to go to.
Oh, it's amazing. Well, Trish, let me know anytime. We've got
I've never been
keys to the place.
I have our haunted doll in my office.
I just looked at that before I said that. I was like,
yeah. She's from Vale. She hangs out with me.
Okay.
Let's see if we can see some of this evidence. Let me know if you guys can hear this, because I'm not sure if I have the audio on. Can you hear it?
Yeah, I hear it. Nice music. I like that.
On April 5th, 2019, Apex returned to the majestic Vale Mansion for another investigation. On this trip, we were joined by the Vale Victorian Society's board of directors. We had an incredible investigation full of personal experiences and amazing evidence being caught. The activity started immediately while we were setting up cameras and recorders throughout the location. Here's what we caught. Cool.
Sweet.
Can't hear what he's saying.
I'm home.
We began the investigation by taking the board to the second floor in Sophia's room and conducting a session. We then moved down to the first floor to investigate. Here's what we caught during those two sessions.
Sophia, we so love your house. We're so happy you're Sophia, we so love your house. We're so happy you're
Are you in the room next to us? April?
Cool.
Are you in the room next to us? April?
Can you say hello?
Better?
Can you say hello?
Better? Yeah. Yeah.
Harvey, what do you want us to know?
Please stop.
Please stop. Harvey, what do you want us to know?
Please stop.
Please stop.
That's crazy.
That's cool as hell. Nice evidence, brother.
Yeah, that was really
Yeah,
wild.
there's Like I said, there's 50 some videos on that YouTube channel. We also have some of our episodes. There's some tester episodes, and then there's a few episodes that will be on Amazon that are already on our YouTube channel as well. So
Cool.
if you're ever bored late at night, jump on and watch those.
Definitely.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'm impressed.
Very much so.
I can't deal with that noise, though. That noise gets on my nerves. I can't not do that. That
we don't use that one much anymore.
Oh, no, man. I tell you what, I can only last like 5 minutes, and then I have to leave the room because...
How else are you going to actually hear anything unless they actually spit it out?
No, I'm saying it. Even if I don't hear nothing, but I can't take that noise.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
I know, but there's not so many. There's so much that you can like equipment that you can actually see or hear or.
That's why I got Jason.
Well,
so we've got a guy in town. His name's Katie Stafford. He kind of has this nickname, the Paranormal Mad Scientist, because he comes up with all these crazy. He was on a Ghost of Morgan City. Thank you. He was on Ghost of Morgan City and was inventing equipment for them to try. And he made one of those spirit boxes for a special, so it actually gets rid of that background noise. That
would be nice.
Really? That would be nice.
Yeah. So it's got a way to get rid of that background noise, and you really hear the voices come through a lot better.
That's good. That's good. What's this guy's name?
K.D. Stafford.
I'll have to write that down.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, one of the nicest human beings on the planet. Really super cool guy. And he's from Kansas City, so he's twice as cool.
Okay, I got that down. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, before it gets any later, I want to thank our sponsors, Carnation, for sponsoring the second hour of our show. If you have a chance, make sure you get out and get some Carnation instant breakfast or some Carnation milk to make your sweet treats. Thanks again, Carnation.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll have to definitely check out your Amazon's, your stories. And is it a weekly video, or is this going to be all released at one time? How are you going to release them?
They'll all be released at one time. Yeah.
Are they going to be on a certain day?
Episodes, right?
I'm sorry.
You're next. Go ahead. Trish.
I was just saying Amazon releases episodes, correct? Like an entire series, like an entire season, basically, right?
Yeah, and this first season will be short. I mean, it's only 7 or 8 episodes, something like that.
That's a lot, though.
That's a lot. That's a start.
Yeah.
That's a start.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Even if it's only 3, that's a start.
12 months.
Right. We'll take whatever.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited for you guys.
I mean, you can do reviews on it, like you can do it.
Yep, absolutely. And we want feedback. People do.
Oh, don't worry, we'll feedback you.
Perfect. Even if it's constructive criticism, we'll take it.
Okay, I'm good at doing that. I'm just kidding. No.
And they're from Kansas.
Nice
I'll have to behave because Trish here's from Kansas, so I'm gonna have to be polite.
What is the first episode? What's it called? Can you share that?
I'm sorry. I have a hard time hearing you for some reason.
Can you share the first episode?
Yes. I'm not sure which one will be first. I'm not sure which order they'll be in. Okay. We've got one at the Vale Mansion, that evidence from the place, that evidence video you just played. Okay. We've got one from the Conjuring House. We've got one from an old Wild West hotel. That one was super cool. We actually, you're going to think I'm nuts, we played a game of poker with a ghost.
Oh, that's cool.
We had some whiskey. We had cowboy hats on.
Oh, wow.
Poker, and had a spirit coming through a spirit box. Mm-hmm. And he was engaging. Don't tell anybody this. This is just between, the 5 of us here. But this ghost beat us in poker. And he was responding. He was saying, bet, fold, all in. I mean, I think he was cheating. I think he was looking at all of our cards.
You should write a Western song about a ghost you played
you
poker with.
You mentioned
Yeah,
the
right.
word cowboy, Elijah. You just mentioned the word cowboy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Jenny and her cowboys. You know what I mean?
We did an old battleship. That's probably one of my favorites.
Yes. Yeah.
Just a super cool place. We tried some kind of unique out of the box experiments. One of them, we got I went up and helped the guy get the old PA system working.
Mm-hmm.
And so we sent Shannon all the way to the bottom back of the boat, and we sent our partner Ed all the way to the bottom front of the boat by themselves. And then we played old ship sounds,
right?
You know, alarms and whistles, all man your battle stations, you know, things that they would have played when the ship was in operation. We would play the clip and then we'd leave it silent for a while and see what happens. And we had some cool stuff happen there.
I believe it.
I'm gonna tease you and make you go watch this thing. But you know, Shannon got called names at one point, and they were seeing stuff move and hearing. Ed said he was hearing switches getting flipped, like somebody was at work down where he was at.
Interesting.
And then we did this other experiment that was super cool right after that, where we put some equipment down in one area of the ship and took a cell phone. And we had everybody up in another area of the ship with a cell phone. That group called this cell phone, and we put it on speakerphone, set it down, and then we just yelled out, "Hey, guys, there's a phone call for you. Come and take it." And then we left, joined the group, and we were asking questions through the cell phone. And it was a fascinating experiment that we got some really super cool activity out of.
Sweet.
So, yeah.
It sounds really interesting.
I'm excited for you guys. I really am. I am
Thank
excited
you.
for you guys.
Yeah, it
man.
is a big deal.
Yeah, man. And when you're ever here in Pennsylvania, man, and on the East Coast, give me a call, and then we'll
Let's
go
do
up.
it.
Yeah,
Let's do
hell
it.
yeah,
We'll get
hell
Trans-Allegheny together.
Yeah, we can do that. Now I'm coming out to Kansas. See me and the team. So Trish is going to pick us up at the airport. you know, and she's going to be our chauffeur for the weekend.
Be your tour guide. Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
There you go.
Because I wanted to go do the Sally House. I mean, but like Trish was saying, you know, we do a lot on the East Coast. The farthest out west that we went was in Ohio. Okay, and that's a good place to go to. It's called Prospect Place down in Trimway, Ohio. Check it out. That's a very haunted place down there. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to going to Kansas. You know,
well, Sean, if you get out this way, let us know. We'll take it. We're not going anywhere near the Sally House, but
okay. No, I understand. No,
we'll
but
buy you
yeah,
a beer and take you to a couple spots.
that sounds like a plan, brother. Sounds like a plan. I would appreciate that. Yeah,
I'm in Topeka, so I'm not as familiar with Kansas City. Obviously, you know, I've heard of, and I'm a photographer as well. So I love, that's kind of a lot of the aspect I love of the historical places is so much history behind it, and so much, you know, one always leads to another one, and but yeah, in this area, it seems like it's endless. It's crazy how, you know, all the way up through Chicago, and you keep going. There's something. I mean, Oklahoma. You know, I was able to go. Have you all ever been to the Skirvin Hotel in Oklahoma City? Oh wow, that's a good one. And that I went there by accident. You know, I was at a seminar, so it wasn't. You know, I didn't go there because knowing it was. I had never even heard of it. But there's so many things in the Midwest that people don't. Like I said, they just think there's the East and the West Coast, and it's like New York or,
but you know what, Trish? So. I beg to differ. on that. Personally, honestly, I would love to go to Kansas, Oklahoma, New Mexico. You know what I mean? Because I read all kinds of stuff that's happening out in the Midwest. You know what I mean? I don't want to go out to California. That's just not me. But no, really, I would love to go to like Kansas. So like my son lives out in Indiana, and there's a couple places out in Indiana that I want to go see. And
there's tons in Indiana. There's a lot of things.
Well, Sean, get out here. Trish, Didn't realize you were so close. Shannon lives in Topeka.
Cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I just moved back here, I guess, within the last year. So I haven't been here very long this time, but I did grow up half my life in Kansas. So I'm familiar with a lot of the small towns and stuff. But and like I said, Kansas City, I haven't ventured there as far as the haunted locations as much, but I want to, now that I live here permanently. So
that's cool.
Well, I'll extend the offer to you too. Anytime you want, just let us know. We've
absolutely
got several places in Kansas City that we're associated with, and so we can.
Is there good food out there?
Camera.
Yeah.
Vale Mansion is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Would be a great place to take pictures. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, and my Sean and Jason, being investigators, they were asking me at the end of last year if I ever go on investigations, and I'm like, no, nobody here ever wants to investigate anything.
Oh man, you got it right there, Trish.
But I reached out to so many people, and they're like, we're done for this year and probably next and probably the next one. And I'm like, you're done? What? This is like,
I'm getting the point.
Contact me.
I'm about to investigate my own house. Like, that's how bad I want to investigate.
And like I said, I'm not an investigator, but spirits usually contact me. That's actually places like the Sally House and stuff. I ended up there by accident. My mom and I got lost, and ended up parking right in front of it. And here I am looking on GPS. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. There's, cool. I guess we're at the Sally House, There's
So how's the food out there?
Really good.
The food good?
Oh, the food.
You will never have barbecue as amazing as Kansas City barbecue.
Sweet. I'm looking forward to
anything else just doesn't compare. It's almost as good as the football in Kansas City.
Oh my God! Yeah. Hey, that's right. That's right. Pittsburgh versus Kansas City tonight. Yeah.
We always have the argument because I lived in New York also about the New York strip opposed to the Kansas City strip, and I'm like, it's here we go. Here we go.
But no, because what about you guys? I know for me, after I get done with an investigation, I get hungry. Do y'all get hungry?
I'm always hungry.
You're always hungry?
Yeah. Shannon's not the right person to add. We call it feeding.
I get it. I'm always hungry too.
My feeding hours.
Your feeding hours.
She weighs all of 90 pounds, and I don't think I will stop eating.
I love food.
Oh, man.
Well, we want to thank you for being on the show tonight. It was very informative, very interesting, and we wish you best of luck on your Amazon adventure. Thanks again for coming on. And give us a little bit of a link. Do you have a link that we can put on our Facebook page or our website? Is there a way that our viewers can get a hold of you? Where would they go?
Absolutely. We're on all the social medias. Like I said, if you just look up Apex Paranormal, you'll find us everywhere. But our website is theapexparanormal.com. And we keep that pretty updated with, our adventures and what we're doing and events that we're going to be at and things like that.
Awesome.
Well, we wish you the best of luck.
Yes.
And we'd love to have you on after your series is on. We can bring you back on.
Yep.
That would be awesome. Thank you guys so much for having us.
Great.
Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. You have a great night.
Yeah, you too.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was fun. They seem like they have a really good system going there.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, and that's great that they're going to be on Amazon.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
There you go, Sean. You can contact Amazon. Start filming.
Well, I'm trying to find sponsors because I had that TV show called
excuse me,
Paranormal Pittsburgh, and then I had Raw Fear. But what I want to do, here's my goal for 2022, is to find a couple sponsors and put a 2-hour special on an investigation on TV. That's my goal.
There you go.
Yeah, so because it costs a lot of money to do it. But you know what? I had fun with Raw Fear. Real quick, I took 8 kids that never investigated in their lives, never heard about ghost hunting. And by the 13th episode that we had, my God, they were great. You know what I mean? I would put them up against any paranormal thing. So yeah, it is
That
fun.
was interesting.
So what's really cool, you know, I'm sure everybody remembers the Blair Witch Project.
Oh
which
yeah.
obviously was not based on, you know, it wasn't real, but do you remember the method of filming, the method of, you know, it seemed very documentary style, like amateur, but now that's what's popular. That's, you know, it's not about
you don't even need high tech equipment.
No, they want to see real people. They want to see real places. You know, it's not about these big high budget movies and stuff as much anymore. So I think a lot of those, you know, Netflix, Amazon, all of those are that's why they're picking those up, because I don't even watch real TV most of the time. I mean,
you can just use your cell phone as long as it has, you know, good camera on it.
On a couple of shows, what I did with Raw Fear was there were a couple investigations we filmed and put on TV where we didn't get no evidence at all. And what my idea for the whole thing was, because you see the other ghost shows going on and they always have to have something going on, some type of evidence. And I think, you know what, it's not all that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There are places where we go to that you don't get nothing. So we put 2 episodes on where we didn't get nothing. So it was cool.
So what's your show on tonight?
I'm going to talk about angels.
Oh, there you go.
And then whatever comes out of my mouth.
There you go.
Yeah, angels. We haven't heard about angels in a while. So.
Yeah, it sounds good. We have to get some guests for next week, but we're going to go ahead and close it up early tonight. Okay. So, we'll have to think about what's next week. It's hard to get. We're trying to get guests. So if you have a podcast, a paranormal podcast, definitely go to Pittsburgh Paranormal Society or Chasing Prophecy Facebook page and send us a link, and we will get back to you. Okay, he has the links to put up. So we'll put this. He gave me a link. Apex sent me a link. So Haunted Bell Mansion too. So we'll put this on the Facebook page right now before I forget. I'm sorry. I'm losing my voice at this point tonight. Let me go ahead and put this on. So yeah, if you guys have any ideas of what we can have on this show, definitely send us a message so we can do that. Running out of guests, and I hear somebody downstairs. My dog probably needs to go out at this point. Let me go ahead and put this on Pittsburgh Paranormal. I'm going to put it right up here. If anybody would like to check out Apex, so you can check out their website. Okay, guys. Well, thanks again for tuning in to Chasing Prophecy. You guys have a great night. Have a great
nighters. Good night.
Great rest of your week. Bye-bye. And of course, I don't have the brand because I wasn't paying attention. Oh, Lord, so fun. Trying to find the ending. Jeez Louise, where is it? There's so many things in here. Oh, well, we don't have it. I don't think it's up, guys, because we're just going to have to shut it down.
Okay.
I don't see it here. All right. I guess he got rid
Joe,
of it.
if you're listening, can you shut it off?
I go.